Hi viewers, welcome to Beginners Tech Road.
In earlier while or do while loop, based on the condition, whatever we have specified, the increments and all the things, then it doing the looping where as long as condition satisfies, it's looping. Here, if you see, if we know specifically if you want to execute 5 times or 10 times like that, then we can use the for loop. But the concept for looping is same for all the loops. So for loop now, if you see how the syntax is for and in the parenthesis, so statement 1 semicolon, statement 2 semicolon, statement 3. So this is the format and then body of the loop within the parenthesis body of the loop. So in this syntax, what is statement 1? What it does? What is the use of statement 1 and what is the use of statement 2, statement 3? If you see, statement 1 is execute only one time. So this statement, when you call this for loop, this statement 1 will execute only one time, that too before the execution of the body. First time it will execute the statement 1. Then statement 2 is nothing but the condition, nothing but whatever the condition we are going to give, like a 5 times if you want to, the condition we are going to specify here. So based on the condition, the body, it will execute that as long as that condition satisfies, it executes. Next, the statement 3 is nothing but it executes after the body of execution. Once if it is completed one time, it then the statement 3 executes. So like that, every time of the body completion, execution of the body completion, it will execute the statement 3. So like that, this in the for statement syntax, all these 3 statements, okay, will be executed in that way. So example, if you look at the example here, the statement 1 is nothing but we are going to define like this. So data type and variable and what is the initial value. So like that we are going to initialize here. If you see, the initialization is happening with the variable and its data type, and initialization, everything will be happening with the statement 1. Okay, so next statement 2 is for a condition, right? So for counter less than 5. So this counter less than 5, until the less than 5, this will be, loop will be executed. Next, the third statement, we are using for counter plus plus. It is nothing but the increment. So as the statement will execute one time before the first time body of the loop execute, so that this statement we are using for the initialization. So this will be executing after every body loop completion, so that this we are using for a condition. This is especially we are going to define the condition here, so that this is the condition. Then here the increment, we are incrementing the value. Why? Because after every completion of loop, we want to increment the value, right? So that we are specifying here. So this is the fixed syntax. We should use the same way like this. For first is the variable and the initializer with whatever the value, and then the condition, then the increment of the variable. So this is the 3 statements, and in these 3 statements, all are optional. Actually, all 3 statements are optional. If you omit also, it will work, but you need to do additional care when you omit these statements, statement 1, statement 2, statement. You can omit this, just you can give a semicolon, and you can omit this condition, just you can give a semicolon. You can omit this increment. You can do that, but that is a special cases if you are doing all your conditions inside, or if you are doing all your increments inside, or if you are initializing above the for loop, if you want to use the same variable, such kind of situations. Okay, but the general format of the for syntax If you see, this is the syntax. Okay, so what this does, so in the statement one, what we are doing, we are taking a variable for counter and we are assigning value to 0. So in the statement 2, what we are doing, we are giving a condition, for counter must less than 5. So if that condition is true only, the loop will continue. If it is false, then loop will end. So for that reason, that is statement 2. And statement 3 is the incrementing a value. So the example, we will see how this for examples we can write, and I will show you. Similar way, there is another for each loop. Okay, another for each loop is there. So what this does, when this is useful, if you see, so this for each is specifically used to iterate or nothing but loop through the elements in collections. So collections is nothing but lists, arrays. We have learnt earlier arrays. Okay, so we defined a array variable and we assigned multiple values. To print the values or to access the values, we have done in a different way earlier by using each subscript or each element of that array. But now using this for each, such kind of collections, elements in a collections like elements in arrays, we can loop for counter equal to 0, for counter less than 5, for counter plus plus I have used, and just I am outputting that value the counter is, and then I am just writing a one blank line. And then similar way, the using the for, how we can do the looping. As another example I am giving here. The example, if you want to display a math table, example for a table 2 if you want to display. So how that can be done? If you look at, so to display table 2 values, so we are defining like this: int row equal to 1, int and then row less than or equal to 10, and row plus plus. Like that we are using a for loop, and inside I have just used table number, so that I am planning to substitute this value 2. So 2 into row is nothing but this value 1. So 2 into 1 equal to 2 into 1 value. Like that I am writing. Similar way, 2 into 2 equal to value of 2 into 2. 2 into 3 equal to value of 2 into 3. So like that I am just planning to write a mathematical table 2 to display its values to up to 10 multiples. Okay, I am just going to display this, how it works. So if I execute this, see now what happened. See, for example, counter is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and mathematical table 2 ones, 2, 2, 2, 4, 2, 3, 6, like that, up to 10, it's displayed. See how it's happened if you look at the result and our code. See, as a slash n, for example, slash n, so that before and after it's given a new line, and then the loop starting from 0 and less than 5. I have put only here less than 5, so that until the for counter value less than 5, it continues the loop. So that up to 4, it continued the loop, and when it became a 5, it's come out of from the loop. So that is the reason 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, it showed. And then right line for a new blank line, and then this table to display. So the table number I have declared and assigned as a 2, and then for loop I have used less than or equal to 10 is nothing but from 1 to 10. So that, and the table number I am just taking as it is, table number. So that that variable 2 is always 2, table number is always 2, only row value is changing from 1 to 10. So that, and loop as it is continuing, it's written all this 10 times 2 ones to 2 to 3 up to 2 into 10. So this is about the for loop. Same you can write in a using a do while also. Same we can write with the while loop. Okay, but only the difference, the convenience of the coding, which gives a better, we are going to use. So here, that is the reason. If you see here, we know the fixed, always this is going to run 10 times. So like that, when we know a fixed number of times, if you want to repeat the body of the loop, you can use the for. So this is about the for example. So, okay, so in the for each example, see earlier we discussed about the arrays and even we assigned the values. No, this is the int array, declaring a int array. The array name is marks1, and then we are assigning also with the maximum of 5 elements, and we are assigning the all the 5 values. So now, so in the earlier example, we have used like using example, if we want to display a marks1 value, so how we learn to use this? So marks1 subscript 0, because the subscript here, it will start from, our index starts from 0 to less than 1 maximum of the value, size of the array. So nothing but 0 to 4, as the maximum size of array is 5. So it takes 0 to 4. So that way, if you see here, this is the one. If we write like this, what happens? It takes the mark1 value like this. So if you want a second value, once again, we need to write like this. Like this, third value, fourth value, fifth value. So if you want, we need to write all like this. To second value, third value, fourth value, fifth value, and here 1, 2, 3, 4. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So like that, we need to write it. So if you write like this, what happens? All values, it will be displayed on the screen. I'm just making a one line for a readability to display on the screen. Okay, so this is the one way of getting the values. But here, if you see, to get that 5 values, we have written 5 times. To get that 5 values, we have written 5 times. So instead of repeatedly writing the statements like this, here, as we are using only a one subscript variable here as a parameter, only one parameter, so we need to start from 0. If you are using a 2, then 0 is the first substitute of the variable, second is the second substitute of the variable. So this should be 0, 0. So now, for that, instead of doing this, so what we can do, using the for each, in simple, we can write like this. So I am just declaring a variable index with the int data type and assigned with a value 1. And then the for each, as we understood the syntax, see the syntax is type variable name in collection name. So this is the type, this is the variable name. Why? Because the array is usually this type. How we will come to know what data type we need to use? It's nothing but the elements stored in a collection. What is the data type of that elements? Same you need to take here. So we know this ints, the array is a int data type array. nothing but this all elements also, each and every element also will be a int data type. So that is the reason we should take here int data type. If here, if you take as a long, okay, then you need to take as a long here. So it's like that. Even you can take the other types also, whichever, suppose if you want to, like a, we know like a implicit conversion, explicit conversion. So whichever, like that type of implicit converted data type, you can use it. So, but usually we will use the same data type of the elements of the collection. I think, but in this case, the array collection we are using. So now, so that is the reason int marks, this is the variable name, in this is the array name. The collection here, what we are taking as example, array. So this array name. So this is the array name. So when I click here, this is highlighted, you can observe. So this is the array name. This is the variable, new variable. So what this does, from this array, automatically it takes one by one. So like a first element it reads first, then second element it reads, then third element it reads, like that. How many elements are there in that array? It reads all the elements one by one. So it's very easy. If you see, same can be done with the for loop, but instead of the for loop, the for each is the very convenience to use it. Okay, so int marks. So the every value will be overwritten into this variable. Okay, for when as loop continues, always the value will be overwritten to this variable. See now what I am doing, I am taking here, if you see why I am giving here marks in a square brackets, once again 0 within the parenthesis 0 I used, and equal to within the parenthesis 1 I used. The reason why I am doing this is I want to display as like this. Marks the value first, the above how we have done marks 1. So same way I want to display marks 1 equal to the whatever the 1 value. Okay, so now in this case, okay, so that is the reason I am using this, and then equal to the value is nothing but 99 and then 98. So like that, the values one by one I want to display on the screen. For that reason, here this is the, in the loop I want to give a, why? Because here I am writing all statements so that I use it as a constant. This is the first element, this is the second element, this is third element, like that. But here we are using in a loop. If we write like a 1, always it will take 1. If I write like a here, if I remove this placeholder and if I put a marks 1, always it's print marks 1 only. But I want to print same way like marks 1, marks 2, marks 3, marks 4, marks 5. For that reason, I used some simple additional logic. Okay, so what I did, I declared here a variable index and assigned its value to 1, so that first it takes here in this place 1, and then here I used index plus plus. So same increment I am using here also. So what this does, index plus plus, so that it increments a value. Same way loop continues, this value will increment, the same will be passing to this placeholder, so that automatically this will become 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this whatever we've written here, index plus plus, and we are assigning also. So far we used only to increment the value, that's all. But the incrementing the value and the value we are passing as a substitute here is nothing but we are assigning here. So such kind of cases, this we need to be more careful how it does. So what it does, the value is 1. Okay, so index plus plus means what value will take here. Index plus plus is nothing but the value increments by 1, so it becomes 2. So whether it gives here 2 or what it gives. So here it gives 1 only, because when you are passing like this as a parameter, it passed the value before incrementing. Okay, so the value 1 will pass, after that it increments. So that is the index plus plus. So wherever the examples I showed is nothing but this, we will call it as a post increment. Post increment. Okay, this is the most you need to understand. So the index plus plus is post increment operator. We will increment. Suppose even you can use plus plus index. This is pre-increment. So this you need to understand only when you are passing as a parameter or when you are assigning to any variable. So that is important. Without assigning, in earlier example, whatever we used in a loops, we just used like a counter plus plus like this. We just used the example I will show here. We just used earlier counter like this plus plus we use. So that variable is not there now here. So that we are getting this. So I will use the same existing variable index plus plus. So when we are using like that, so we are not storing this value or we are not passing this value to anywhere. We are just incrementing, so that however you use, not a problem. Okay, but when you are passing as a like this parameter, or when you assign to another variable int x2 equal to like this, you should be careful. So when you do like this, what will happen? The x will become, in this case, x2 equal to 1. As already declared. Okay, usually always the best practice whenever you are introducing a variables, if that variable within this scope, nothing but the variable is accessed only within this block, the braces, when you start and end, this will be available only within this block. This variable will not be available outside this block. When we are defining like this, this is available from here to below. It will be available for everywhere, but within this method it will be available. But as we are putting inside, it will be available only here. Okay, so and then x2 equal to index. Suppose if I do like this here plus plus, now what will happen? In this case, what will happen? So here it is incremented, and then already now this index having the value 2, x2 having the value 1. Suppose instead of this, instead of that, if we use like this, now the value will be 2, because it increments, then it assigns. So initially the value is 1. Okay, initially the value is 1. If we do like this assignment like this, post increment, the x2 will become 1, but index will be 2. Here index will be 2. At this stage, after index will be 2. But here, now in this case, both index and x2 both will be 2. Both will be 2. That you need to understand, because this is the post increment, sorry, pre-increment. This is the post increment. So that is the difference. So that way you need to understand here. I used a post increment so that here 1 only will come. The starting will come from 1 only. Suppose if I use this index instead of 1, if I use 0, then you need to use here pre. Like this you need to use to get the value 1. Okay, before we need to increment. Before passing the value, we need to increment. So that is the important. So I will use as a regular practice. I'm undoing and I'm keeping again back index 1, index plus plus. However, your logic, however, is like a, see, the logic, for few cases, the logic can be done in a various ways. Everything will be right. The way how you are writing, it depends. Like I am taking here index equal to 1 and I used a post increment. Suppose if you are taking as a index equal to 0, then you are going to use as a pre increment. That is only the way, but both are right. It's a way how each individual will be thinking the logic, that only the differs. Okay, so now that is the reason I used it here as a placeholder and I am using of this index variable by using a post increment. Okay, and then the second parameter I am passing as a marks, so that here this is the placeholder for a second parameter. The 0 is a placeholder for the first parameter. The 1 is a placeholder of the second parameter. So the marks will be taking here. So it's nothing but when a loop start from first time, when the first value it reads, so this will be a 1. So marks 1 equal to the first value is equal to 99. So like this we will get. Similar way it continues, we will get marks 2, marks 3, marks 4, marks 5. So this is about the use of for each. Similar way, even we can define the array with the string. So, and here I am, earlier we discussed, okay, when I am declaring and assigning together, so I can omit the size and I can do like this. So that is the reason I am doing, so that it takes automatically the size of the array, how many we have, values we have assigned, it will take that values. So now what I am trying to do, I want to display all this. Sun, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, like that, one by one I want to display. As a simple, I just written here as an example. So however we want to construct, we can construct the string. I am just writing on the screen only the SUN, MON, TUE like that, so that I straight used day. See here, data type string. Why? Because the array is of a string type. So definitely the each element also will be a string type. So that string day in days. So this is the day. Same way here marks how we have taken. Similar way here days. So it will print the days automatically by looping. See, now I will execute this and I will show you how it comes. So if we see the output, sorry, earlier I didn't press enter. So okay, anyhow it's refreshed automatically. See, now you see. So what it does, so for each example, so as a constant we repeated multiple times. So console right line like that 5 times we repeated, so that marks 1, 99, marks 2 like that is displayed. And the second set what it displaying, if you see, that displayed using a for each. Okay, so this is displayed using a for each. So that is the advantage of the for each. And similar way, the another example, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, how it displayed, same way using the for each.
Thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe to our channel for more videos.